Hello dear students, welcome back. So in the previous lecture we saw hydrostatic forces on submerged surfaces like plane surface and curved surface. In today's lecture we will see buoyancy. So this is very important from GATE point of view. In previous years many times there was question from buoyancy, so please pay attention to this. So what is this word buoyancy? What do you mean by buoyancy? Buoyancy is a phenomena. Whenever you place a solid body over a liquid surface, then the solid body experiences a upward thrust. That is your buoyancy, and the upward force is called as buoyant force. Okay, so let's understand the definition first. When a body is immersed partially or completely in the fluid, the net vertical upward hydrostatic force exerted by the fluid on the body is known as buoyant force. Okay, so the upward hydrostatic force is your buoyant force, and this buoyant force is equal to weight of fluid displaced. We will see this whether this statement is correct or not. Buoyant force is the weight of fluid displaced. First thing is, buoyant force is the net vertical upward hydrostatic force. Okay, so let's take a body here which is completely submerged. This body is completely submerged in liquid. Okay, so the weight of the body will definitely act downward from the CG. This is CG. Okay, and as it is completely submerged under the liquid, so this solid body, top surface and bottom surface, they are horizontal surface. These horizontal surfaces will experience hydrostatic force. Suppose the hydrostatic net resultant of hydrostatic force कितना होगा? हाइड्रोस्टैटिक फोर्स ये हॉरिजॉन्टल सरफेस के ऊपर कितना लगेगा? सपोज दिस डिस्टेंस इज h1 assume and the bottom distance is h2. Then tell me hydrostatic force on this horizontal surface कितना होगा? Will it be equal to omega a h1? Will it be equal to omega a h1? So this is hydrostatic force on top surface of the solid. Okay, and hydrostatic force on bottom part will be how much then? Tell me the bottom part hydrostatic force. It is at a distance of h2 from liquid surface. So can I say this is omega a and h2? Okay, and the vertical part of this surface and this surface, they will cancel each other. So see, the vertical part, left hand side, right hand side, the hydrostatic force will cancel each other, but the top surface bottom part is omega a h1 and bottom surface hydrostatic force is your omega h2. They are different. H1 and h2 value are different. Omega is what? Omega is wet density. Wet density means rho g. Rho g means rho of fluid, density of fluid. Okay, at the top surface the direction of force was like downward, but at the bottom surface direction of hydrostatic force will be upward. So net resultant force is how much? Can I write that? If bottom part will experience more pressure because h2 height is more than h1, F bottom minus F top. What is F bottom then? Omega a and h2. Okay, omega a h2 minus omega a h1. So can I take this omega a common? H2 minus h1. What is h2 minus h1? H2 minus h1, is it the height of this body, this solid body? So can I write this is equal to omega a into h. Okay, so what is this a into h? Area into height. Area into height is what? Volume of this body. Omega, this is omega of what? Omega of fluid, omega of fluid, omega of fluid into volume of body, or rho of fluid, G and volume of body, right? Here, so we found the net force that is acting upward value is equal to this much, rho f g into volume of body. See here, in this figure body is completely submerged, so volume of body is equal to volume of fluid displaced. So can I write this equal to rho f g volume of fluid displaced? So this is your net upward force or the buoyancy force. So buoyant force is equal to rho f g v of fluid displaced, or that is equal to what is rho into volume. Rho into volume is mass, and mass into g is equal to weight. So can I write this is weight of fluid displaced. Okay, so that's why we prove buoyant force is the weight of fluid displaced. Now see this center of buoyancy, that means the point of application of buoyant force. So the buoyant force is located at center of buoyancy, and it is the center of gravity of displaced fluid. Okay, we'll see this here, how much fluid is displaced. Complete fluid is displaced, so center of buoyancy and center of gravity, they will be the same point. Okay, here center of buoyancy and Cg will be the same point because the fluid displaced is equal to the total volume of the body. Okay, so for submerged body, if it is in equilibrium, then Cg is equal to center of buoyancy. We will see later what is stability and what is equilibrium. Okay, so now tell me, so let's take one more example. So tell me one thing, I have a same volume of iron block, aluminium block and plastic block. Their volume is equal. Now we are placing this volume of block to water. So we are placing this over the water surface, we are placing iron block, aluminium block and plastic block. Now tell me, on which case buoyant force will be more? So for which case buoyant force will be more? Tell me. I am giving you 10 seconds. Iron block, aluminium block and plastic block, all of them are placed over a water surface. So what would be the buoyant force on all these? See here, buoyant force depends on density of fluid and volume of fluid displaced. Okay, so volume are equal, that means it will depend only on fluid density, and we are placing over water only. So the density of water is constant, that means buoyant force will be same for all these cases, for iron block, aluminium block and plastic block. Okay, but who will sink? Iron will sink or aluminium will sink or plastic block will sink? And why? Weight of this block will be acting downwards and buoyant force will be acting upwards. Buoyant force is same for all these blocks, but weight of the block or same volume will not be same. Okay, so whose weight will be more? Iron block weight will be more. So the difference between weight and buoyant force is more in iron block. So definitely that's why iron block will sink. Okay, and if weight of this aluminium block is greater than weight of fluid displaced, then it will sink, and if it is not, then it will float. Okay, and plastic, we know plastic will float. Let's take one more example. Suppose a body is placed at h1 distance here from liquid surface, and another body is placed a very large distance, suppose h2 distance. Okay, now tell me where buoyant force will be more, in this body, body 1 or body 2, where buoyant force will be more? For body 1 or for body 2? See, h1 distance is very small compared to h2. See here, buoyant force is equal to density acceleration due to gravity into volume of fluid displaced. If volume of the body are equal, suppose V1 and V2 equal, it should be given here. If volumes are equal, then buoyant force will be equal. It will not depend on H1 or H2. It will not depend on the distance of from liquid surface. Okay. In the next slide, we'll see Archimedes principle, very famous principle. It says that the buoyant force acting on a body immersed in a fluid is equal to weight of fluid displaced by the body. Whatever we saw just in the previous slide, and it acts upward through the centroid of displaced volume. Okay, so this is the location of buoyancy. This is the location of buoyant force. Okay, so it will act at the centroid of displaced volume. We will see what is that. So can I write buoyant force is equal to weight of fluid displaced, and its location is where center of buoyancy is centroid of displaced volume. If this is a body and if it is partially submerged, then how much amount is submerged? This amount. So the center of buoyancy will be the centroid of displaced volume. If this distance is h from the liquid surface, if this is h1 and total height is h, suppose assume, then center of buoyancy will be where? h1 by 2 from the bottom, or h1 by 2 from bottom. And where will be the CG? CG will be at h by 2 from bottom or top. Okay. So this is center of buoyancy, this is center of gravity. Okay. A very important principle in buoyancy is your principle of flotation. Check that. For partially submerged or floating body, weight of liquid displaced is equal to weight of body. That means this is only valid for partially submerged or floating body. It will not applicable to submerged body. Please remember, this is not applicable to submerged body. So weight of fluid displaced, liquid displaced is equal to weight of body. And weight of fluid displaced is equal to what? Buoyant force. So buoyant force equal to weight of body for a floating body. That means suppose a body is floating. Here a body is floating. And suppose this depth is h1 and total height of the body is h. And suppose it's a rectangular body, so top cross section will be a rectangle. Suppose this one. Now weight of fluid displaced is how much? Weight of, suppose this is your rho of fluid given, that will be equal to rho of fluid g into volume of fluid displaced is equal to rho of body g and volume of body. G got cancelled, and rho of, I can write specific gravity into rho of water, volume of fluid displaced is equal to then specific gravity of body into rho of water, then volume of body. So if I cancel this term, SF volume of fluid displaced. Volume of fluid displaced is how much? Fluid displaced. Displaced means this volume, this much volume which is submerged under the liquid. So can I write this as area into H1? Volume of fluid displaced is area into H1 is equal to body, volume of body is area into height of body. So area got cancelled. So how much? SF H1 is equal to SVH. So for a floating body, remember this. This is valid for a floating body. This will be very much helpful in finding the height of submergence for a fluid. So H1, the height of submergence, कितना height डूबेगा, ये यहाँ से हम पता कर लेंगे. कितना height डूबेगा देख लो. H1 equal to H into SB divided by SF. Okay, HB. So this is your. Let's put this in a box. So height of submergence equal to height into SB divided by SF. Now tell me, for floating body, which specific gravity will be more? Specific gravity of body or specific gravity of fluid? ये float कर रहा है मतलब किसका डेंसिटी ज्यादा होगा? स्पेसिफिक ग्रेविटी क्या है? डेंसिटी ऑफ वाटर मल्टीप्लाई कर देंगे तो डेंसिटी हो जाएगा. डेंसिटी किसका ज्यादा होगा? बॉडी का या फ्लूइड का? किसका डेंसिटी ज्यादा होगा? अगर बॉडी का डेंसिटी ज्यादा है देन इट विल सिंक. इफ बॉडी specific gravity or density is more than fluid specific gravity or density, then it will sink. That's why for floating, specific gravity of body must be less than specific gravity of fluid. Okay, so in the next slide we can solve few numerical based on this principle of flotation and buoyancy. Okay, so now check this question. Question number 1. The specific gravity of oil is given, density of water is given, and you can take acceleration due to gravity g equal to 10 meter per second square. Fine. So how to proceed this? This metallic body, 45% is in oil and rest is in water, means 55% is in water. So 45% is in oil and 55% is in water. So this is the submerged body or floating body. If you assume oil and water both as your fluid, then definitely it's a submerged body in oil and water. But if you see this interface, 45% is in oil and 55% is in water. That means it is floating. It is floating in oil and water. 55% partially submerged in water and 45% partially submerged in water. So you can consider this as a floating body of oil and water, isn't it? So how to proceed this? So we know always buoyancy force equal to how much? Weight of fluid displaced. And but according to principle of flotation, weight of fluid displaced is equal to how much? Weight of body for floating body. Fine. So if I take this for floating body, what is the weight of fluid displaced? Weight of fluid displaced in oil and water. So how much that? Rho. Then volume of the body, how much? 45%, 0.45 of volume in oil. Then rho v g. Mass weight हो गया. Then this is the rho of what? This is rho of what? This is rho of oil. Then plus rho of water into 0.55 of V, 55% of volume into G. So total weight of fluid displaced is this much, is equal to weight of body. What is weight of body? Density of body, then volume of body, then G. So can I cancel out common terms Vg, Vg and Vg? So what is remaining? Check this. Rho of oil 0.45 rho oil plus 0.55 rho water is equal to rho v. Now find this rho v. What is rho v then? Rho v is equal to 0.45 of rho oil. Rho oil is how much? Density of oil is how much? Specific gravity is 0.7. To multiply 1000, so you'll get 700. So this is 700 density. Then plus 0.55 into how much? 1000. Tell me the answer. Tell me its answer then. Is it equal to 865 kg per meter cube? Check. Next question, question number 2. See, two bodies, one is solid sphere and other is hollow cube, which are equal surface area. What is the ratio of the buoyancy force by the fluid on the sphere to that on the cube? तो यहाँ पे दो बॉडी है, एक है सॉलिड स्फीयर और एक है होलो क्यूब, which are equal surface area. Now tell me what is the ratio of buoyancy force on the sphere to that on the cube. Think. I'm giving you 10 seconds. How to proceed? Yes. So you have two body here. One is a cube and other one is a sphere. Okay. What is given? They have equal surface area. Surface area of cube is how much? 6a square. And for surface area of a sphere is how much? 4 pi r square. Suppose r is the radius and here a is the side of 1. Okay, so 6a square equal to 4a square. It's given 6a square. Can I write 6a square equal to 4 pi r square? Okay, so a square equal to how much? 4 pi r square by 6. Okay, you see this. Now it's asking to find the ratio of buoyancy force or buoyant force by the fluid on the sphere to the cube. So ratio means buoyancy force of sphere to the buoyancy force of cube. What would be its answer then? What is buoyancy force? Buoyancy force equal to, if it is completely submerged, then it will be equal to weight of fluid displaced or weight of the body. Okay, so assume weight of fluid displaced is how much? Rho F into G into volume of sphere. Similarly, rho F G volume of cube. If they are placed in same liquid, we can cancel this thing. So volume of sphere is how much? 4 by 3 pi r cube. Volume of cube is how much? A square. No, a cube. So can I write denominator 4 by 3 pi r cube? Can I write this as a square into a? And what is a square? Tell me. So this ratio would become a square means 4 by 3 pi r cube. Square is how much? 4 pi r square by 6. Then a into a. A is what? Root over of 4 pi r square by 6. Okay. Cancel common thing. 4 pi and pi. R square and r cube, so we will get r here, r by 3, numerator, r by 3, denominator, how much? 1 by 6, 1 by 6, then here root over of 4 pi by 6, root over of 4 pi by 6 and r will get cancelled. Then how much you are getting? So you will get the final answer as root over of 6 by pi. That means buoyant force on sphere will be greater than buoyant force on cube. How much times? Root over of 6 by pi times. Okay. So you can write here buoyancy force of sphere is equal to root over of 6 by pi into buoyant force of cube. Put this in a box. And the condition is here area of the sphere and cube, they are equal. Okay. So can I move to next slide? See, question number 3. A cylindrical body of cross-sectional area A, height h and density rho s is immersed to a depth h in a liquid of density rho and tied to the bottom with a string. The tension in the string is. So first here you have a container, and in this container there is a cylindrical body which is tied with a string to the bottom, okay, and it's floating. The height of submergence is given h, area of the top surface, cross sectional area is a, and the total height of the body is capital H. Now you find the tension in the string. So which option would be the correct one? How to proceed this kind of problem? This body is floating, right? And here CG, if this is the CG of body, weight will be acting downward and buoyant force will be acting upward, right? And this is string, so tension is this in the rope, this word. And if I consider body, so tension will be on this direction, okay. So can I, if I assume free body diagram for this body, then can I assume like this is force of buoyancy plus tension is equal to weight of the body? Can I write this? So we have to find tension. So tension equal to how much? W minus buoyant force. And you know, buoyant force is always weight of the fluid displaced. Do not write buoyant force equal to weight of the body here, because this body is not floating. With the help of a string, we are making this body to float, right? So do not write buoyant force equal to weight of the body and tension is 0, right? Here W minus buoyant force is always weight of fluid displaced. This is always, so what is weight? Weight of the body is how much? Rho of body, then G and V. Rho V is mass into G. This is volume of body. Then what is weight of fluid displaced? Rho of fluid, G into volume of fluid displaced, right? So if I write that, can I get tension is equal to rho S G, volume is what? Volume of the body is A into capital H, minus rho of the fluid is rho here, not rho F, so rho into G, volume of fluid displaced is how much? A into height of submergence, rho G A H. So take things common, rho S capital H minus rho small h into G into A. Which option is correct from A, B, C and D? Option D is correct one. Okay, understood? Can you move to next? Next question is question number 4 here. An aluminium alloy, density is given, casting is to be produced. So you have to produce a aluminium casting. Fine. A cylindrical hole of 100 mm diameter and 100 mm length is made in the casting using sand core. Okay. So what is the net buoyancy force acting on the core? Net buoyancy force means, what is this? Buoyancy force is fine. What is net buoyancy force? Suppose this is a aluminium alloy. Okay. So initially that will be in liquid state now. For casting we have to melt aluminium. So aluminium is in liquid state, and if we want to make a internal hole inside, like inside, if we want to make a core, then we have to place some material over here. So this distance is given, length is given 100 and diameter is also 100. Okay, so this is your sand part, this is sand core, and here liquid aluminum. Okay, so now tell me the net buoyancy force acting on the core. Core is solid, and over this solid you have aluminium, molten aluminium. Okay, so now tell me what is the net buoyancy force. Weight of the core will be acting downwards, and buoyant force will be acting upward. So what is net buoyancy force? Net buoyancy force equal to W minus Fv. So net upward force, net buoyant force is equal to weight of the body, weight of the core minus buoyant force on core. Okay, what is then weight of core is how much? Rho of sand core into G into volume of this, volume of core minus buoyant force is aluminium, rho of aluminium, G and volume of this core only. So what is common? Rho Sg minus rho aluminium G into volume of core. Okay, so it's a cylindrical core. That means for cylinder, pi by 4 d square h, volume of cylinder is equal to how much? Pi by 4 d square into h. Or to find this, pi by 4 d square is how much? 100 mm means 0.1 square into h is how much? 0.1. Tell me its value. So is it coming 7.85 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter cube? So if you multiply this, rho s, G and G also common na? Rho s minus rho aluminium. Rho s is 1600, rho aluminium is 2600. So 16 minus 26 minus 1000 into G is 9.81, volume is how much? 7.85 into 10 to the power minus 4. Okay, so how much you are getting? Is it coming 7.7? So is it coming 7.7 Newton? This is minus means direction is upward, right? Here net buoyant force is upwards. So we take weight direction is positive, that's why buoyant force direction is coming as negative. So fine, minus is negative. So only the magnitude is 7.7 Newton. So net buoyant force is this much. Understood? Can you move to next slide? Okay. So a crane is used to lower weights into the sea. Sea water density is given for an underwater construction project. What is the percentage reduction in the tension in the rope of the crane due to rectangular concrete block? Density is given when it is completely immersed in water compared to tension in the rope when it was suspended in air. Okay, so there is a crane. The crane is used to lower weights into the sea. Okay. So the weight is a rectangular block, concrete block. Here it's a rectangular concrete block. This dimension is given, so you can find volume. Volume is how much then? Volume is 0.4 into 0.4 into 3. How much? Is it equal to 0.48 meter cube? So this is volume. Okay, and this is first case, it will be suspended in air, and in another case it is completely immersed in water. Okay. In the second case it is completely immersed in water. So यहाँ पे in this case how much tension, net tension on the spring will be how much? So this is W, and in this case one is W, one buoyant force will act on this body. Suppose this is buoyant force. So for the first case, the equation will be T1. If we do force balance, T1 will be equal to W. Then in for second case, when it is completely submerged in water, T1 tension will be how much? Will be, this is not T1, T2 suppose, this is T2, this is T1, T2 equal to W minus buoyant force. Okay, so find this value. In the first case, how much tension in the rope? जो क्रेन एयर में सस्पेंड करके रखा होगा, तो तब कितना टेंशन लगेगा रोप में? वेट कितना है? वेट इज रो ऑफ दिस कंक्रीट ब्लॉक G and volume of concrete how much? Rho is given. Rho for concrete block is how much? 2300 into G 9.81 into volume of concrete, how much? 0.48. Tell me its value, how much you are getting. Tension is equal to 10.83 kilonewton. The second case, check. T2 will be equal to W minus how much? W is already known. W is 10.83 minus buoyant force. Buoyant force is how much? Weight of fluid displaced. Weight of fluid displaced means rho of fluid G into volume of fluid displaced. Okay. So 10.83 kilonewton minus rho F. Rho of fluid how much? 1025 into 9.81 into volume of fluid displaced. So entire volume is submerged. So entire volume is how much? 0.48. Find this answer then. Is it coming? 4.82. So how much? So this is 6.01 kilonewton. Fine. So in the first case, tension in the rope is 10.83. In second case, it is 6.01. So how much tension is reduced? Reduction in tension is T1 minus T2, and if I divide with T1, then we will get percentage reduction. So how much percentage reduction? 10.83 minus 6.01 divided by 10.83. Is it coming 45%? Okay. Question number 6. A spherical balloon with a diameter of 10 meter shown in the figure below is used for advertisement. The balloon is filled with helium at ambient condition of 15 degrees Celsius and 100 kilopascal. Assuming no disturbances due to wind, the maximum allowable weight in Newton of balloon material and rope required to avoid the fall of balloon, and air characteristic gas constant is given. So here please first understand this question. A spherical balloon here we have, and this spherical balloon diameter is 10 meter, and inside this balloon there is helium. Characteristic gas constant of helium is given, and outside air. Outside is air and inside is helium. The initial condition is given, so surrounding temperature and pressure is given. Assuming no disturbances due to wind, the maximum allowable weight of the balloon material. So weight of the body will be acting downwards, buoyant force upwards. Here what is weight of the body, and to balance this body we have tied this balloon with a string. balloon कब फ्लोट करेगा? जब buoyant force weight से ज़्यादा होगा तो बॉडी तो नीचे तक नहीं आएगा, फॉल नीचे तो आएगा नहीं, फॉल नहीं करेगा. जब weight buoyant force से ज़्यादा हो जाएगा तब फॉल कर जाएगा. So let's find weight of balloon. What is weight of balloon? Weight of balloon is rho of balloon. Inside balloon you have what is helium, right? Rho of helium, then G, then volume of balloon. So what is rho of helium? Can I write rho equal to P by RT? P by RT, R of helium into T into G into volume of balloon. So what is P is given 100 kilopascal, 100 into 10 to the power 3. Then R of helium is how much? R of helium is 2.08 into 10 to the power 3 into temperature. Temperature is 288 into 9.81 into volume of balloon. Volume of balloon is how much? It's a spherical volume, so 4 by 3 pi r cube, 4 by 3 pi. Diameter is 10, so radius is 5. Tell me its answer. Weight of balloon, how much you are getting? Weight, is it coming 857 Newton? Check. This much weight of balloon. What is buoyant force then? For floating condition, buoyant force must be greater than weight, otherwise it will fall. So what is buoyant force then? Buoyant force is how much? Rho, weight of fluid displaced. So rho of fluid is rho of air, g, and volume of balloon. So rho of air is P by R of air into T, g, volume of balloon. Pv equal to RT. So P by rho equal to RT. So rho equal to P by RT. Ideal gas equation. Pressure equal to 100 into 10 to the power 3 divided by R of air is how much? 0.289 kilojoule. So right, 0.289 into 10 to the power 3 into 288 into 9.81 into volume of balloon 4 by 3 pi 5 cube. How much? This answer please. Buoyant force is how much? Is it coming 6160.8 Newton? 6160.68 Newton. So buoyant force is very much greater than balloon weight. So how much weight you can add in the balloon? कितना balloon में weight add कर सकते हो? Difference of this, up to this you can allow. So maximum allowable weight. If we have tied this with a rope, we will have tension. So W plus T will be equal to buoyant force. So that tension or the maximum allowable weight will be the difference of this weight of balloon, buoyant force of balloon on balloon minus weight of balloon. How much? 6160.8 minus 857. This much. Tell me its value. Is it coming? 5303.6 Newton. So this is your maximum allowable weight, right? You can put on this balloon. So the tension must be equal to this one, 5303.6 Newton, to make this balloon in equilibrium. So ठीक है. So this is your maximum allowable weight. So with this we can conclude today's topic. In this lecture we saw definition of buoyant force, Archimedes principle of flotation, and we solved some numericals based on that. Okay. So in the next class we will see stability conditions and metacentric height, and we'll see some numerical on that. Okay. Okay. So I repeat, along with the class, please make your note so that revision or recall of all these concepts will be easier after completion of course. Thank you.